Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dice Camera Action. Yeah. I am your Dungeon Master, K-Perka. K-Perka. And here I have Anna Brewster Urbanson playing Evelyn the Paladin. And next to her is Jeba Kanabanabe. Jeba Kanabinabe. Kanababa. As Dieth Woodrow, the human rogue. Right. Then we have Na Shapa as Paulton, the bard. Ali Kara as Strix, the tiefling sorcerer. And Travis McElroy.
That's just my real name.
As Magnus Burnsides. Who you might know from other shows like The Adventure Zone.
That's my other.
Yeah. So, when last we left the party, there was a throwdown at the docks with some agents of the Xanathar Guild, whom you dispatched with the aid of Zentarum operatives that you thought were your enemies. You have now made your way into the city of Waterdeep, the four of you, with your entourage that includes a GIF Commodore named Warrington Munt, an owlbear named Waffles, and a small little wooden puppet man named Simon Seppa Marthane. Attracting a fair amount of attention, but people of Waterdeep have seen this kind of cavalcade of circus freakdom before. So they're not put out or anything, but they do sort of stop, gawk, and
roll.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, and tweet on social media. When you enter the Yawning Portal Tavern, there's a bit of a gasp from some of the people in there when they see Waffles lumber in behind you. And a barmaid sort of says, "Oh, we don't allow owlbears in here." At which point, the guy behind the bar, who's this handlebar mustache, curly-haired guy who has a few scars and is cleaning a glass, says, "No, it's okay, Bonnie. That one looks tame enough."
She sure is.
Yeah. And yeah, Waffle's just completely nonplussed. She just sort of looks around, scopes things out, and makes her way in, just follows you basically into the area where you can.
A bartender or a mixologist?
A mixologist, yes. And
Good question.
when you see your frenemies, Davil Starsong, the elf member of the Zentarum, and his half-orc bodyguard, Yagra, sort of flag you over to their table where they're sitting alone.
Can I have Waffles try to go to sleep under the table? Like only her head will fit, but she can just.
Right, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And she just plops down and starts to snore.
Good.
It sounds like they're doing business. Can I go meet the barkeep and just be like, "Can I use your kitchen?"
Why?
I wanted to make some pies.
Okay.
And she'll go make some pies.
Okay.
She washes her hands, by the way.
All right, so you can see the kitchen is empty of people. It's not very well organized. And you start to just sort of rifle through things and pull things out of their cabinets, lay them out on tables, and look around for ingredients. You realize many of the cupboards are quite high, so you need something to stand on.
I'll just use my broom.
Oh, geez, okay. So the rest of you are kind of sitting down, and this big cloud of smoke comes out through the doorway.
Straight to the bar for me, please.
All right, yes.
Dieth will attend to business.
All right.
You do it, buddy. We all believe in you.
While you sit down with Davil and Yagra, you can hear and see in a corner, in a shadowy, dark corner, a lone musician playing a lute that looks like it's seen better days and might actually be missing a few strings. And he's just sort of plucking away at a song, and it kind of sounds terrible, but he doesn't seem to mind, and neither do any of the patrons.
I'm going to walk over there.
With or without your drink?
Can I slam it real quick and then go
Yes.
over? Cool. I slam it, get my courage, I walk over and be like,
He will just hand you his 3-string lute.
it's like, is it
Very nice of him.
relatively in tune? Does it sound like?
Bing, bing, bing. It seems like it's tuned, yes.
I guess I'll play a little diddle.
Okay.
If I
Evelyn was trying to help Dieth, but as soon as that happened, she's gone.
Yeah. So Dieth is alone doing business, right?
Right.
Well, Strix will come back pretty fast.
Well, it'll take you a while to make your pie, though,
And
right?
she'll come back and forth. So
Oh,
just put the
okay.
pie in.
Oh, so you've actually got it already made.
Huh? Yeah, she'll just make it really fast, then just like run back out while it's cooking. Just
Oh, okay. So Dieth, you're sitting now alone with these 2 Zentarum operatives.
Yes.
And they're you can make a performance check. Since this lute is missing several of its strings, I'm going to say
God.
make that a disadvantage.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll on here. Let's see. All right. So that one's good. Oh, that one's better. Well, okay. At disadvantage. Okay. So
And he's like, if you can get a G out of that, I will worship
23.
you like a god.
23.
23.
Wow.
I saw the rolls. It was legit.
Okay. Yeah. So, Evelyn, you are struck by the magic that unfolds before you. And many other patrons, too, are like, what is that? What is that noise? That sounds good. Yeah, and you shush them all up, and they quiet down instantly. And Dieth,
Yes.
Davil just sort of wags his eyebrows at you and holds a hand out to you to shake it.
I'll
You can see he's got a ring on one finger in which, in the signet, you can see the winged serpent insignia of the Zentarum. And there's a tiny little gemstone in its mouth.
This ring, have I seen it on other Zentarum before?
No.
Okay, so this.
This is a very expensive piece of jewelry. He probably had it custom made.
All right, I'll take the hand. Quick scan of the room real fast.
Sure.
See if there's anyone else around here that could say maybe have like a bunch of eyes drawn on their face.
Oh, I see.
Or
Okay.
something that could potentially, based on whatever limited knowledge I have, potentially Xanathar agents. Just a quick scan around, be like, hold on. And if there's like no one, then I'll accept it.
Okay, make a perception check.
Okay.
Is this happening in the same room? that I'm
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, in the tap room.
28.
Okay, you scan the room, and you can see that there are some dwarves playing darts in one part of the room, and they're kind of loud and boisterous. There's a figure sitting near them with his table piled up so high with food, you can just kind of see his hat behind it. And bar folk are just sort of coming with new mugs and things and taking away the old stuff. And he seems very loud and gregarious. Up to the point where Paulton starts playing, and then he sort of quiets down.
All right.
Other than that, it's actually kind of quiet, because you're here fairly early,
Yeah.
so the crowd is pretty thin. The yawning portal has a huge well or hole in the middle of it that descends down into darkness, and the tables are arrayed around it. And then it has a balcony overhead that's mostly abandoned. You don't see any movement or anything up there.
All right. Great. After that quick scan, I'll take the hand and give it a nice
Okay.
firm.
Make a saving throw. Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that's good. Ha.
I was just kidding. You don't need to make a
Oh.
saving.
What's real, Chris Perkins?
He's got a very delicate handshake. All right.
You just got trolled so hard.
I was like, no!
And he says, DF,
Yes.
I want to be straight with you.
Good.
And then he gives you a wink.
Go on.
The Xanathar Guild has been causing us some problems. We tried to reach out to them to create a mutually beneficial partnership in this city so that we can conduct our business without their interference. And, well, that didn't go so well. Intelligence is coming in now. My spies are coming back to us with news that Zentarum operatives, Zentarum operatives are being threatened by Xanathar Guild members who are coming up out of the sewers. Since you were so gracious enough to help our friend Wandala at the docks, I fear some of that flack may fall on you and your friends. Guilt by association.
I got a feeling you're right, just based on some recent things I saw on the way
And for
here.
that, I apologize on behalf of the Zentarum.
Deeth kind of takes a moment, like, almost kind of squints and looks away. Does this seem like a sincere apology?
Make an insight check.
And probably.
Yeah, there is a weight to his words that
Okay.
you don't sense any undercurrent of duplicity.
Right. Still on edge, just because it's something I'm very not used to seeing coming from Zentarum.
Yeah.
Deeth will say, apologies accepted. We just aren't seeking any kind of conflict or trouble. We're just trying to get home.
I know. All the same, I feel like we owe you one. So should you require our assistance in any matter, don't hesitate to come to me.
Interesting. And if I wanted to get a hold of you?
I will be here. I have this place is my home
Right.
while I'm in Waterdeep.
Okay, so
And if you can't find me, talk to Yagra.
understood.
She always knows where I am.
And anything?
Absolutely anything. All right, and you're playing. You can see people are leaning in. Hearts are rising from Evelyn
Of course.
into the air. And Waffles has sort of crawled across the floor over next to Evelyn and has just sort of got her beak on her paws,
Aw.
listening to the conversation. You haven't seen Simon since you went off to play.
I'm a terrible
Do I
player.
like? Do I just like realize this?
Yeah.
I like immediately stop. I'm just like, my son, and I just like run off.
My son.
I'm a middle boy.
My boy.
As soon as he stops, she stands up and she's like, watch for new tour dates for the Drunken Times tour. Coming soon. Watch your scribe
Drunken
devices.
living.
Yeah.
Drunken living.
Make a perception check to see if you can find him.
Do this again. All right. That is. 12.
All right. Yeah, you can see him standing outside. He's gone out, and there are kids talking around him. Like, they've just completely surrounded him.
He made friends.
I like.
You flash back to Barovia when he shot a kid in the neck with a dart and killed it.
Yeah, you guys remember that time Simon killed a kid?
We still have him. Shit.
I
It's
remember
okay.
that. and
Welcome, though.
I remember this, and I go to like try and get him out of there, and I just kind of go like,
And Simon can't talk, but the kids are having a great time just kind of playing around him, and you can see that there's a young girl with a wooden sword strapped to her belt, and she's sort of kind of dancing around with him and sort of spinning him around and things like that. She's taller than he is.
Okay, so
but he
there-
seems to be having a pretty good time. You see
Simon found love.
his first love.
Like Paul just
Yep.
literally pulls up a chair with like his drink and just.
Yeah.
She touches him.
A flying snake zips past you and goes into the inn.
Is that like a normal thing in your guys' games?
It is now.
This is pretty tame so far.
Yeah,
Okay.
this has been, yeah. Woo.
And it's got gleaming, sort of multicolored, almost rainbowic scales and black wings.
Do I consider its posture threatening?
No. You can see that it has in its coils what appears to be a sort of crunched up scroll. Having seen that at least once before, you know it's some sort of messenger snake.
Oh, of course.
Has it
Of
like,
course. Yeah, the messenger snake.
As they are.
That old trope.
Yeah. Oh, again?
Has it already like whipped past
Yeah,
me? Or?
the first you see of it, it's just a past you into the establishment.
All right, I'm gonna keep watching my boy.
Okay. Diath, that snake comes to your table,
Sure does.
drops the scroll into Davil's hand, and then immediately goes up and kind of winds itself up around a rafter.
All right.
Davil unfolds it, looks at it, passes the message to Yagra, and says, "Our spies have found out what the Xanathar Guild is after now.
Does this sound like information that I should know?
He asks Yagra to get past the note to you, and when you open it up, you see that it has the name Renaer Never Ember written on it.
Yenair?
Renaer.
Renair.
Yeah, Renaer.
Looking for a person?
They're looking for something that was, well, the Xanathar believes that we stole something from him. We didn't. But now his operatives are looking for it. It's called the Stone of Golor.
Interesting. So, wouldn't you guys, by chance, be also looking for this stone?
No.
Huh, because I remember you talking to Wandala, and you kind of seemed to make it a point that I shouldn't know that.
Oh, you heard that. Well, to be clear, we think that if we were to recover the stone, we might be able to use it to negotiate a peace.
And what does this have to do with me?
Nothing, but maybe you can help me out.
Okay, I ask again, why would I do this?
Because we're friends, and friends help each other.
Strix bring the pie at this point.
Yes. You come out with this steaming pie. I won't, you've made many pies in your long life. I'm not going to have you make a roll to see
Yay!
how great your pie is. Yeah, but I will have you make a dexterity acrobatics check.
Oh gosh.
To not.
Because there is a loose board behind in the kitchen doorway that pops up occasionally.
16.
All right. It pops up and you just sort of stop it with your hand,
No!
still holding
Like,
the pie. Yeah. And you come out with this smoking pie. What do you do with it?
I'll just set it on the table and be like, how's this going good?
Oh, thanks, Strix.
Yeah, come.
Everything's great. DS will actually like just take the pie. Still like serious business face on just.
He says, "Are you familiar with the Neverember family?"
I am not. Am I?
Yeah, you would know that Lord Neverember, Dagalt Neverember, used to be the Open Lord of Waterdeep,
Oh.
the highest-ranking lord in the city, the sort of figurehead leader of the city. He was drummed out not too many years ago, a couple years ago, for suspected corruption while he was off repairing the city of Neverwinter. And
So Never Ember was in Neverwinter.
Neverwinter.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. He has a son who stayed behind in the city, and his name is Renaer.
So, having been here for a while now, and he was ousted from the
That's
Masked
right.
Lords,
Yes.
Would I have an inclination of who possibly replaced him?
Yes, you know that the current Open Lord is a woman named Laral Silverhand.
Okay. All right, and they believe the stone is owned by Raynar?
They believe that Raynar knows where the stone is because his father made it.
Oh. Hearing all this and getting the information, Dieth will then be like, what is so important about this stone?
And Strix will like stick her hand in the pie and just be like,
That I don't know.
would I know any magic stuff about something like this, or is it no?
No.
It's like, I've heard of that.
He says,
Evelyn's putting names on a mailing list for people who want to get updates about the drunken dying tour.
okay.
Paulton
Yeah.
at this point, like during their exchange, is just kind of like snuck up behind and is just adding like really intense atmospheric instructional music.
All right, the list grows. The list grows. And Davil says, if the Xanathar Guild is planning, could you stop that?
We can't all be men of taste.
If the Xanathar Guild is planning to kidnap Renair Neverember, it would be a political disaster. Do you understand the benefits that could be gained by preventing that and protecting this young man?
Yeah, I do. Where would I find Raynar?
Well, we keep a close eye on our friends in the city. He is attending a convention in the Sea Ward called ChairCon.
That sounds stupid.
Do the people bathe there? Because I've heard stories of these cons.
There have been sordid escapades in the corners of the old manse where the convention is known to take place. But it is innocent enough. Local artisans make fancy chairs and people sit in them.
It's a lot more fun than it sounds.
Oh my gosh, I love the
Hold
chair
on.
community.
Just like, I love it. Sounds great. Sign me up. How do we get?
Can we have a panel?
I
There are
can
also,
bathe. I'll
there,
sit right in.
there are also chairs of historical antiquity on display there.
It's pretty cool.
Do I get in free if I smell bad?
Well, you might want to do something about that. This place in the Sea Ward, it's an upscale location.
What?
And they probably won't let you in if you're brandishing visible weapons and flies.
What?
Your flies sort of retreat back into your hat.
A couple die like, on the table. Oh. I'll just look at Evelyn like,
I'll see if I can get us on VIP. Don't worry.
By the way, you also still Strix have like streaks of dry blood on you from your battle at the docks.
oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And Evelyn flung the sword at me and covered
Yeah.
in blood. And I was like, ah! Cool.
But Davil looks at you and he says, I can whip up a prestidigitation to clean you up somewhat.
Please don't.
Please do.
And I can furnish you with some new attire.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Start to hyperventilate.
Paul,
No, I don't need it. It's fine.
Paul's, is this the makeover episode?
No!
Are we about to?
This is the makeover episode.
Montage.
Yes. Yes. So cut to a series of rooms in the back of the in the back of the yawning portal where people are getting fitted. They're trying to put like a dress on Strix, and she's just like tearing it to shreds.
It's like, but I already started the montage music.
So how many of you are going to go for the?
I mean, Evelyn's always down for a makeover, but I just made this cosplay.
Yeah, I know.
No, she does. She totally goes
Okay.
for it. She gets it.
And since you, they'll make sure that there are rooms set aside to put your things in, and Dernan will make sure that you have keys to your doors and things like that.
I think she goes.
Sorry, Siri?
Is that
I
me?
think she goes for like a more. She's kind of sad to give up the dress, you know,
Yeah.
because she was only wearing it because it was the only thing. But there, being in Waterdeep, she kind of heaves a sigh and she goes for like a heavily embroidered, very paladin-looking tunic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you know that being a paladin of the Church of Lathander, as long as everything looks nice, you can pretty much go anywhere in the city you want with your armor. Nobody's going to bother you. Lathander is held in great reverence and respect here. Okay. Strix, what do you envision yourself looking like at the end of this process?
I hate this. I don't know. You make it up.
All right.
How about what does Evelyn pick out for her?
Yes. What is
Oh.
Yes. But she's very reluctant still. But also, she polymorphs her staff into the owlbear doll.
Okay.
She's like, I'm not leaving this here.
Yeah.
So I
See,
think-
Waterdeep is a combination of cosmopolitan but also very provincial. There's a lot of provincial influence still in the city. So I'm thinking, something Holland, like hippie long stockings, like.
Oh God, no! Hard pass. I think hard pass. Yes.
Evelyn wants to keep her with her normal aesthetic. She doesn't want to shock her too much because she respects Strix and her brand. So
She learned that from Omen.
Yes.
she goes for like an updated version with like a brocade, very structured, but like lots of feathers, you know, because the
Okay.
feathers are the
Yeah.
accoutrement.
This sounds expensive. How do we
Of
buy
course
this?
it's expensive. They make a deal for exposure. Strix is going to wear it around Waterdeep and tell everyone where she got it.
Here's what I'm envisioning. Evelyn convinces Strix that this is how a Blackstaff would dress.
Ooh, yes, exactly.
Strix agrees, and it's like a cool like maid robe kind of thing. That's like
With like a high collar
Yeah.
with the feathers all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Strix-
And lots of like
Strix-
black dark brocade and stuff.
sure. She
Yeah,
agrees to that because Evelyn has convinced her that's how a Blackstaff dresses, and then she takes her album and is like, and she polymorphs it back into her staff, like
Ooh, and a very jaunty hat.
a jaunty hat.
Yeah.
Davil comes in and checks on you all periodically and makes comments about things that you could do just to fix yourself up a little bit more. And then he suggests, I can make arrangements with Dernan to keep an eye on your pet.
Oh,
while you-
Excellent.
What? Wouldn't she come with us?
I don't know if they'll allow an owlbear at a
Doubtful.
chair con.
Well, don't they make owlbear chairs?
Not yet, Evelyn. Not yet.
All right.
Maybe we should leave Simon with him too.
Where is Simon still?
Playing.
I look over.
Yeah,
it's
yeah. You sort of go out onto the balcony because you're on the second floor now in one of the rooms. You sort of peer out and you can see he's sort of running around the well with children chasing after him. And you can see they're also playing on the rigging that is used to lower people up and down the well.
That seems fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Simon.
Okay, you come down the stairs, spiral wooden stairs down to the ground floor. Simon sort of collides into you because he's running with his head turned around backwards and making faces at the kids chasing after him. And he just slams right into you.
All right,
It's
grab
the
him.
floor.
I'm just like, okay, Simon, listen here. We have to go to a con. I know it's horrible, but it's work related, so we don't have much of a choice now. It's like now, are these kids being nice to you? Okay, and you know they're just kids, so sleep dart. If it comes to that, got it? Okay, I'm trusting you. If we come back and there's dead children,
If I see one dead kid,
I'm going to say I'm so upset, but really I'm so proud of you. Now we're gonna go. Got it? You're a good boy. And that's it.
All right. So you all march down the stairs, shock the crowd with your beautiful, clean clothing, cast off your armor. What weapons and accoutrements are you keeping? Strix, you said you want to keep your staff?
yeah. I'm
Okay.
just pretending I'm like the Blackstaff now.
Yep.
I'm like, yay!
Okay.
I live in a mage tower.
You had mentioned that they pretty much said that any kind of weaponry there just would not be allowed.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah. Unless it was something decorative, like an ornamental dagger is easily brought in.
Evelyn
right.
is very uncertain about this no weapons thing, as she is covered in weapons.
Diaz will pretty much leave behind almost everything. Throughout whatever he's wearing, he'll find a way to tuck away his lockpicks should he need it. And then one of his standard throwing daggers, he'll find
Okay.
a way to kind of like slide into a boot or maybe like up a glove if he's got one of those or something.
Yep.
Just have that at the ready. And then he'll leave everything else behind.
What about Gutter? Same?
Yeah, Gutter will stay behind.
What are you doing, Diath?
No,
This seems foolish.
The only foolish thing is that I still have you here. And I'll like toss him away angrily.
Okay?
I
this is a talking weapon.
Yeah.
That's silly.
Yes. Yes.
who is kind of the expert on whether or not they will allow these weapons in? Like, who's telling us that?
Well, Davil is saying that's sort of the decorum, but you won't know what you'll be allowed in until you get to the house.
She keeps showing him every one of her weapons, trying to explain why they're decorative. See, this one has really intricate working on the branches.
I'm not the
on
one you have to convince, my dear.
Just tell him that treebane is Marthane family heirloom.
Will that be a lie?
I'll tell him.
Okay. She just takes all of her weapons. She does, however, she has 2 javelins left.
Yes.
And she looks at those and she's kind of thinking like, maybe those have a good chance. So can she find a way to either herself or have someone in the tavern like engrave them pretty or something like that?
They probably can't do that on such a short notice, but what they can do is fit them with some decorative tassels.
Oh yeah, they're flags now.
Yeah, so they look like flags.
Totally. So they're crisscross flags.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
okay, good.
exactly. All right.
Perfect.
And out you go into the city. Davil says that I will have spies nearby should things go
Awry?
awry.
I can't imagine they will.
I'll hand him a pie. Nice hand pie. Like, meh. She has
right.
a whole basket of them. Even though she's dressed all fancy, she's just gonna be like, pies, 3 copper.
The travel through to the Sea Ward is pleasant. You leave the Castle Ward, you cut through the market, and you enter a section of the city that's on high ground. It's higher than the rest of the city, tucked north of Mount Waterdeep, right up against or abutting the coast. But there is a high wall that separates you from the water, so you can hear it, but you can't see it. These houses are old money homes, big stone structures, tall, majestic, with yards and walls enclosing their property. Old buildings. Many of them have not been so well maintained and look a little decrepit. Others are immaculate.
Having lived in Waterdeep so long, would we like know any of the families that lived in these houses? Like, would we recognize them?
You'd know them by name, yeah, and they've been here forever, as long as you've been alive. Like, oh, there's the Umbrusk estate, and it's seen better days, and that kind of thing.
Oh, they repainted, yeah.
Did you want to go on foot and take your time, or did you want to coach it?
If the Zentarum are providing coach.
They will do that.
What's a coach?
Yes. Yagra will be outside and have a coach ready for you when you're ready to leave. So when you are dropped off at this old manse on Diamond Street, you pile out in front of an iron wrought gate that has 2 guards sitting in chairs with their halberds leaning up beside them. And the gate.
How nice are these chairs?
They're very, very well made, probably local artistry, beautiful scroll work on the handles, velvet on their seats.
They must be new to the chair
Yes,
scene.
and you can see through the gate and beyond the wall, you can see that there are people wandering around in the yard, and they all look like nobles dressed in their finest attire. The women in beautiful gowns with hats on to protect their eyes from the sun. And there are gardens and little tiny brooks, rivulets of water flowing through that have, along paths, strategically placed chairs. And you can see that the men are all letting the women sit in the chairs.
The whole chair convention takes place outside?
No, you can see the front doors of the manse have another 2 guards sitting in chairs in front of them, facing each other. The front doors are wide open, and you can see a gaping hallway beyond, and there's just noise of voices coming through.
Just chair noise.
Chair noise.
Lots of scooting.
Scooting, scraping, all that kind of business.
I will never understand normal life.
And as you've come out of your coach and the coach is preparing to depart, you can see all around the estate on the roads are members of the Dung Sweepers Guild with their brooms just sort of cleaning up the streets here. That's not an uncommon occurrence in the Sea Ward. There isn't a speck of dirt on any of the roads here.
Evelyn loves that.
Yeah.
Strix wants to take the broom and start cleaning.
Evelyn, by the way, from this vantage point, you can see the spires of the morning rising up above the other rooftops a few blocks away, gleaming in the sun.
Guys, look, remember? That's where we all used to stay.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that nice?
That's the Temple of Lathander.
Strix is picking up garbage off the ground.
You know, the Morning Lord watches over us even now.
Why?
Even
Yeah, let's
in
go.
this moment.
Strix, as you're
Lathander,
like
the
picking up
Morning
garbage
Lord,
off the
shines
ground,
upon
one
us.
of the dung sweepers kind of takes offense and asks for the garbage.
Strix?
Yeah. And you realize all of a sudden you don't actually have a place to put the garbage, even if you wanted to, because you're changed out of your regular attire.
I'm so upset. I'm frozen.
So he looks, she looks rather confused when you start crying over this handful of garbage.
She starts crying. Like, I didn't know.
But she takes it from you nonetheless.
I didn't want to talk to the fancy people.
Okay, when we get home,
When you go inside, past the nobles who are wandering around in the yard, you can see Yeah, there are lots of chairs everywhere. Some of them are behind velvet ropes, and you can see they look old, scratched, throne-like, many of them. And they have little placards next to them talking about where they came from and who sat in them and why they're here.
I got to bring all my weapons in?
Nobody stopped you.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I imagine that Evelyn did that thing where you just walk in like you know you belong.
Yeah, the guards didn't even bat an eye when she walks in with all her weapons.
Security's kind of lacking here.
Yeah, it's practically non-existent.
Oh, that's concerning.
Yeah.
Did you bring anything?
Yeah. And in fact, one of the guards by the front entrance, he's got his sword on wrong, and
Oh no.
he clearly a poser.
A poser.
It's fine. Good thing
Fake
I
chair
brought all
fan?
mine.
Yeah.
He's just a volunteer.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a trained soldier or anything. He's wearing like a chair con livery.
Evelyn starts pointing out chairs that are really pretty and being like, "Oh, Diaz, we need that chair. Diaz, we need one of those.
Yep.
Just don't let me
Yep.
go home with more than like 4 chairs, because every time I go to a convention,
Evelyn, you see this beautiful alabaster chair with this tree motif carved into it, with all of these gemmed acorns and a sign that says that this belonged to an elven princess. And
Evelyn,
it's behind the velvet rope.
we need it.
maybe after work is done.
We don't have any money.
At the top of a huge sweeping staircase that has red carpet going all the way up it, there is a great stained glass window. And by the way, the outside of this house was basically wearing a jacket of ivy, sort of covered in greenery, literally up to its gables and rooftops, with windows peeking out through the verge. Inside, it's like an old Victorian house, lots of wood panel. You smell varnish and pine and other wood scents filling the area. It's spotless. Nobles looking at you, gliding back and forth from room to room, sitting in chairs, talking to each other, chatting, not paying you any mind. But at the top of the staircase, you see a man in a powdered wig who seems to be like a coordinator, a curator, and he's talking to some folks.
All right. Diaz has been noticeably uncomfortable around all this aristocracy.
Yeah.
And is completely out of his element. He'll actually approach Evelyn and point out Powdered Wig Man and just be like, should we talk to him? Can you talk to him?
Sure. What do we need? Like 4 chairs?
No, just ask him if Raynar Never Ember is around.
Raynar Never Ember. Okay. And if he is, what do we want?
To say hi to him.
Okay.
Halton Tears is just like, I got it. I'm gonna go up to him.
Evelyn's
Yeah.
It's like,
When he sees you, his tongue just,
Oh.
yeah,
it's like, good sir, how goes your day?
so much better now. Thank you.
Never passes up an opportunity to flirt with Paulton.
Yeah.
Sorry to be taking up your time. You seem like a very busy and handsome man.
Oh my goodness.
We're looking for a.
Oh no!
You're like, so like the charm thing where Zavi turns back downstairs like, what was his name?
Raynar Never Ember.
Right. Never Alabaster. What? Never Ember. We are looking for the one who laughs.
Never Ember. I should have guessed.
Of
Oh my
course.
goodness, yes. He's with an old friend of his in the piano room.
Oh,
Allow me to take you.
please do. He's like leading us. I turn the part. I'm just like,
Yeah. He's got an assistant. He just sort of takes a walking stick and then just sort of clunk, 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 clunk. He doesn't need it. It's an affectation, clearly. But he leads you off toward the piano room and he says, "Are you alone?"
we're all alone.
There's a closet. Wow, that's dark. Warrington Munt, who you tried to lose back at the yawning portal, sort of darkens the doorway behind you.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
Standing there with his beautiful military uniform, his gleaming medals on his chest, and says, "Quite the experience, Ding Dong.
Oh, Warrington, didn't realize you were such a chair fan.
I love chairs.
Cool. You should go find one to sit on.
I just might. Thank you for having me along. I shan't get in your way."
Excellent. Bye.
He wanders. He leaves. Are you guys all following Paulton up the stairs at this point?
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
when we hear like the "Are you alone?" I think that we keep like a respectable distance, right?
Yeah, probably.
You can see this man is harmless. He's just,
Yeah.
he's just playing with you, but enjoying himself immensely.
And Strix is just hiding behind Dia, like a little shadow. She
They're
just
like
hates
following.
these people.
Yes.
They're like following. I tell them just like, oh, don't mind them. They're my. These are my guest liaisons. As just.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very.
Makes sense.
They're very helpful. They are fantastic. Top tier.
Are you famous, perchance?
I don't like to brag, but
He throws open these doors into a beautiful cherry wood room, at the back of which is a piano, basically basking in colored light coming through a huge leaded glass window that faces off the back of the house. And there are two figures in the room by the piano. One is a young man with sort of tall, thin build, with long red hair down to his shoulders, and he's got a rapier strapped to his belt, and ruffled sleeves, neck, collar, and he is talking to
Me.
yes.
Magnus Burnside, who is a very beefy boy, dressed just like I am. And he has, so he's a protection fighter, so he's got a shield with lots of engraving on it, and he's just kind of pointing around like, yeah, cherry wood. It's cherry wood. Is the piano? Is the piano chair? What's the piano? Do you know?
Do
This is
you
nice.
play, Magnus?
Oh, I don't. No.
Renair will actually, he's probably sitting at the piano and just sort of tapping keys.
Play something I can dance to.
Yes, he will do so.
Magnus likes to dance and is not
Yes.
good at it. Maybe I'll do a dexterity throw. Oh, a 2.
Yes. So you actually kind of back up into an alabaster bust of something, and it topples over and smashes on the
Oh.
floor.
I can fix that. I'll get. Whose house is this? This isn't your house. Okay, never mind.
The powdered wig guy says, that is a loan from a museum.
Well, you know, things break. It's sad, but you know, you got to live in the moment.
how good is what he's playing on the piano?
You can see that Renair is a classically trained musician.
I want to take out the loot that I still have.
Okay.
I just want to like accompany. If
All right, yes.
Just a little something.
I think I'm going to faint.
Oh, hi.
This powdered wig guy leans on you, Evelyn, because his knees go weak.
We both lean together.
Yeah.
Just leaning to each other.
Rainier, it seems that we have visitors.
Yeah, he'll stop playing when he see well, actually he won't, because you're accompanying him. He'll play as long as you do, and then it becomes like, who's going to stop first? It gets more and more intense, and you can see little beads of sweat start to form on his brow.
Alton's just.
And he sort of says to you, I only know one song.
I don't know any songs. Don't tell anyone.
I'm going to say Magnus turns to Evelyn with all the weapons and say, hello, you must be in charge. Hi.
Well, thank you. I'm
Pleasure.
Evelyn Marthane. Very pleased to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Magnus Burnside. You can call me the Hammer. Don't do that. Just call me Magnus. That's fine. What
Not
do you
the
do? What's your thing?
I serve
I'm not
with
good at small talk.
Don't worry, I am. Tell me about your outfit. It's so nice.
Oh, thank you very much. So this is armor. And like, so if someone tries to hurt me, it stops it.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Oh, what a conversation. DF, you know stuff.
On it.
Carry
I
on.
approach Rainier.
When you cut over to Renair,
Yeah.
Magnus, you see something in Dia's face that just immediately.
Do I know you? You look so familiar.
I don't believe so. This is my first chair con, so I'm pretty new.
Wait, sorry if this is gauche. How old are you?
Technically,
You don't ask for age on the first date, right?
Fair.
Some nuts.
how long has it been since we started?
Well, currently you look younger
Yeah.
than you did when you started.
Yeah.
You're like 19-ish now.
Right, so I'll be like 21, old enough to drink.
Okay, sorry. Couldn't be you then. The person I think I met about 10 years ago, another adventurer, looked just like you.
Oh my gosh, what was their name?
What was their name?
Was it?
Huh.
Strix peeks out from like behind you and is like, what?
You know, for the life of me, I can't remember their name.
Paulton's just
Spitting
like,
image, though. Is your adventurer family?
No, it's just me.
Okay. Huh. So weird.
Yeah.
I was like, I hate to interject, and I'm all for good small talk, but it feels like we have 44 minutes to do whatever it is we're doing. So maybe we should speak with Mr. Never Whatever.
Never whatever. I'm sorry, you came to speak to me.
Oh, yes. You see, yeah, I mean, you're so well
My father
known.
didn't send you, did he?
I don't even know who your father is. I apologize.
Oh,
He's
good.
the other Never Ember. He's like older Never Ember. So like, see this guy?
Yeah.
I know
Him,
what
but
a
older.
father
Okay.
Renair will stand up and shake your hand politely, as nobles do.
Well, we came here because we know that you just have such great knowledge of fine relics and artifacts.
Who told you I was here?
Whoever it is won't offend you.
That sound. I get it. That was good. Sounds right.
Dieth will just straight up, will just drop the act at this point and just say, we believe that you may be in danger.
Ah, okay.
Are you familiar with the Xanathar?
Yes?
And then we believe they are seeking something that you know of and you know where it is. And we fear that they are coming for you to get that information any way they can.
Okay. At this point in time, you hear screams downstairs.
Yep.
And
My
you hear
turn.
the sound of the front doors just close.
Magnus goes running.
Just-
He's out.
Yeah.
He's running down towards wherever the screaming is coming from.
Oh, he's fast.
Okay.
Is he like running toward the fight?
Oh yeah.
Evelyn's like, wait for me!
Describe what you're carrying or wielding as you charge.
So I have a couple weapons. Mm-hmm. They're real silly. My main weapon is called the Flaming Raging Poisoning Sword of Doom. And it was designed by an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. It has a scorpion tail on the tip and it's on fire. And it does a lot lot of damage.
She's
I have
on
a
fire.
sword on fire too, look!
Excellent. Oh, that's amazing. I also
Sword
have.
twins!
So I dual wield, and I also have the Chance Lance, and the Chance Lance is the, I believe, minute hand of a clock from like a clock tower that was blasted by the goddess Istis, and so I can throw it and recall it.
Neat.
Well, and she pulls out a javelin and holds that too.
Oh, is yours blessed?
We're all blessed.
Good answer. Does Paulton see his first weapon, or do you like take it out before you?
Oh yeah. It's,
It looks like it was designed by an 8-year-old.
Evelyn's just running after him like, ah!
All right, so these two go terracing out into the upstairs foyer. What are the other three of you doing with Renair in the room? You can see Renair has got his hand just on his rapier because he realizes he's alone with 3 strangers and his friend just charged out of the room.
Dieth will just like turn right back to him. It's like, and it looks like we were right.
Apparently so.
Renair, do you know any magic?
He says, no, that's not me, no. I have friends who do. I wish they were here.
I know magic. It's okay.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Hi, I'm Strix.
Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, wow. That's new.
He takes your hand and kisses it.
Dieth, seeing this, Dieth like almost like immediately steps away, kind of like to interrupt the moment. It's like, is there like a back escape or anything you can use to get out of here?
Strix acts like she's burned. She's like, ah!
He says, this isn't my house, so I don't know.
Shit.
Magnus comes running back in. There's some crazy stuff going on, and leaves again.
All right. Yes.
Wait,
Also, like as like Evelyn was like just running out, and Paul's just, and just. Here we go. Also goes with.
Okay.
I want to say to Rainier too that I could polymorph him into something so that he could easily hide.
He says, I'd rather not, but let's stay close.
All right, you just stay right by me. I don't smell right now, so you won't hate it.
He sort of takes you by the hand,
No, don't, no.
and you rip away from him. And he says-
She'll hand it him like, oh wait, she doesn't have her cloak on. She just doesn't know what to do.
he says, I apologize.
It's like,
I should have realized cosplay is not consent.
she'll just like put her hands on his shoulder and be like, I will lead you forward.
Okay, yes, you sort of push him forward, and he allows that. Magnus and Evelyn, as you barrel to the top of the stairs, you can see that there are some aristocrats running around, women with their gowns whipped up so they can run away, men following them close behind, shaking and shivering.
Several on chairs with wheels on them trying to get away.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You can see that there's all kinds of chairs in the room below you. And then you see a figure come out. It is a noblewoman. She's got her hat off her head in her hand, and there's a third eye
No.
in the middle of
And
her
that's
forehead.
bad?
There's just so many eyes.
That's bad?
Their
Yes.
heads explode.
Oh, man, what?
Yeah. She's just looking around with this all three of her eyes, and kind of casts her glance up at the stairs. And behind her, you can see another noblewoman step forth. So one of them's in a yellow dress, another one's in a pink, and they both look up with their third eyes and see you at the top of the stairs. And then there is a boom sound of a door being smashed open, and a bunch of bugbears and goblins come piling into the foyer below you.
Cool.
Are they
That's new.
friendly?
Yes, you can see that the two women with the three eyes point up the stairs, and the goblins and bugbears just en masse, like a carpet of pointy ears, bat noses, blades, and fur, come running up the stairs toward you.
Magnus strikes a pose, but then kind of shifts to a different. Oh yes.
Yes.
Evelyn runs up behind him like, and gets in a pose next
And
to him too.
there's room at the top of the stairs so the two of you can basically just stand side by side as this wave.
Do we look epic like fight buddies?
Yeah, you totally.
Sick.
Both of our swords on fire.
And to everybody below you, you're just sort of like two silhouettes against a big stained glass window.
Oh, that's cool. I
Shining
like
down on you with dappled colored light.
As they do like this really cool like run up pose, Paulton just ruins it and just like kind of slowly walks up.
Yeah. You can see this beautiful chair behind you, Paulton, just sort of sitting there unused.
Just kind of.
I'm going to say that's the chair that Magnus made. He's very proficient in carpentry. He's a master
Yeah.
carpenter. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
On that chair is named Sit Boy 5000.
Yeah. So you see a little sign next to it that says Sit Boy 5000.
How's it feel?
Yep.
How does it feel?
Made with grand artistry by one Magnus Burnsides.
And Magnus turns back. It reclines.
They recline
Yeah, you sort of slide back and the arms sort of move and you just sort of pop up.
He's like, this is you?
Yeah, I made that.
Oh, do you do commissions?
I do.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
If we
we'll
don't-
talk.
Yeah, if we don't
Make a
die-
Make a dexterity acrobatics check. You've never been in a reclining chair before.
Okay.
Just Paul making that face everyone makes right before their chair falls over.
Sorry.
For this chair roll,
Yeah.
nat 20.
Okay.
He's taking it so good.
Paulton knows how to recline.
It's like,
Yes, you own this chair like a boss.
It's like it was made for you.
It is.
Yes, and then you notice that one of the armrests sort of flips up and there's like switches, like buttons under the panel.
I start pushing everything.
Everybody roll initiative.
That is a natural 1.
Oh my gosh. Do you add anything to that?
I do. +2, so 3.
3.
Gotta stop using this dice.
Strix.
16.
Diath.
22.
Nice. Evelyn.
12.
And Paulton.
9.
9. Okay. So the first to go is going to be Diath.
So with all that chaos going down there, I'll turn back to Radar and just be like, If she's going, she can handle it. But just in case, we should find somewhere to hide and/or make an escape. And if things go really, really bad, what was the name of the stone from earlier, Chris?
The Stone of Golor?
Golor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll ask him like, do you know where the Stone of Golor is?
No.
Do I believe him?
Make an insight check.
Strix has let go of him at this point. It's like, ugh.
Maybe 15.
You are not altogether sure he's telling the truth. You get the sense that, actually, let me change that.
Sure.
He's not lying to you, but he is not volunteering a piece of information above and beyond that you think he knows.
All right. So we came in through this one door with like the grand piano and everything.
Yeah.
Is there a separate exit aside from that?
Yeah, you can see that there are various doors around this room that don't lead out to the foyer, but to other places in the house.
Okay.
And actually, there's an open stairway in one corner, a spiral staircase that goes down.
That goes down?
Yeah.
Oh, that's trouble. I guess I'll point out to Strix and to Reynard that we should head towards like the other door and kind of start escorting him just to see if we can potentially get him out of here or at least find a better place to hole up. And as we're doing this, like Dieth is still just pressing for information. It's like, do you know what the Stone of Golor is?
He says, no.
Do I believe him?
Make an insight check.
I do.
Okay. No, you don't think he's lying to you, but there's clearly something he's not telling you.
Right. Again, just still going. It's like, have you ever heard of the Stone of Golor?
Why do you keep asking me about this thing that I have nothing to do with?
Because it's why they're after you.
Well, maybe they just don't know anything. Maybe they're dumb.
Always a possibility.
That's when the wave of bugbears slams into Evelyn and Magnus. Thank you. The two bugbears in the lead.
Would you like to scream into battle with me?
Yeah. Yeah. Ow.
All right, so the two bugbears facing off against you. Evelyn, you currently aren't wearing your armor.
I'm not?
Oh, no, you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would not go to a con
Right.
without my
Sorry,
armor.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Yes. You are not hit because he only rolled a 12.
Ting, ting.
Okay. Magnus, this bugbear rolled a 23.
That
against
does
your armor
hit.
class. Okay. Then he slams into you with a Morning Star
Yikes.
and does 6 points of damage.
Okay.
You haven't been hitting that softly in a long time.
Yeah. I have 131 hit points. So maybe this is gonna last. Aw.
He just snarls,
Doesn't Evelyn have
scrunches his bat face.
I got 115, boy. Hey.
There we go.
Paulton hears that number in game and goes, good to know.
And Strix, what do you do as you and Dieth are ushering Renair from this room?
All right. Can I see the staircase from your line of sight?
You don't have line of sight to any of the bad guys, you just hear the racket.
Darn. Is there anything around me that I could animate?
All kinds of things.
Piano.
The piano?
You could animate the piano.
I'm going to
Into like a
animate
Mario
the piano.
64.
All right, so you cast animate objects on the piano, and you
Yes.
can see that its legs start to bend, its clawed feet start to flex their claws,
Yes.
and it begins to move about the room, playing as it does.
All right. I'm like, no, don't stop playing. Go attack.
You point toward where they are?
Yeah.
Okay. It goes stomping off in that direction. And Paulton, you hear this most unnerving noise. Ding, 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 ding.
Do I like see it coming?
Yes.
Like,
All right. And after casting the spell, you just continue to move with Renair.
Yeah.
Coming up that spiral, you can hear footfalls coming up that spiral staircase into the room that you're about to leave.
Great. Okay.
And then it is Evelyn's turn.
So am I in melee with these bugbears now?
Yes.
So I,
They're like one or two steps below you, but they're still as tall as you because they're very tall. They're like 7 feet tall and you're, small.
so I think I'm going to be like, Magnus, you got these ones?
Oh yeah.
Okay, she's gonna go ahead and disengage even if it provokes an attack of opportunity and go straight for the ladies with the third eye.
Okay.
And she's gonna be like, watch this, with her flying boots.
Okay, the 2 bugbears will take swings at you, and both will miss you.
Nice.
You fly down with your wing boots and land amidst these 2 women.
And I just wanna, with the Heart of Spinelli.
Okay, go ahead.
That's a 2. So, so
You used
that's
your
a total of
fancy
10.
dice and got a 2.
Okay,
I know, I tried.
so here's the good news. They're not armored, and they have no dexterity bonus, so your 2 hits one of them.
Awesome. All right, so that one does.
Plus 8 to hit, so.
Yes, I do. So that's going to be 4, 8, 18 plus 4, 22.
Yeah, you just completely carve through her, light her dress on fire,
Ooh.
and she collapses into a burning heap at your feet.
And then I take my second attack.
Okay. Yes.
Yay!
And as she falls, by the way, you see the middle eye on her forehead disappear.
Oh, good riddance. That is a 24 to hit.
Oh, yes.
So that lady, which one is it? Pink dress lady or yellow dress lady?
You just cut down yellow dress lady.
Sorry, yellow dress lady. That dress was real pretty. Now it's dead. 6, 8, 10 plus 4, 14.
Okay.
Pink dress lady.
You kill her as well, and she falls at your feet.
How are the dresses?
Since you're carving into them with your flaming sword, I'm going to say dresses not faring too well.
She looks up at Magnus.
You can see Magnus is standing at the top of the staircase and the whole staircase is just covered with goblins and bugbears. There must be like 20 of them on the stairs.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Which brings us to Paulton. So are you going to just push buttons on this chair?
So I see that the whole staircase is covered with these things.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But it's not too far. I can just like walk up, right?
You can hop out of the chair and walk up.
Okay, cool. So I walk up to Magnus. I put a hand on her shoulder. I'm like, pardon me, sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And then take like a few steps.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm gonna do a 5th level thunder wave to
Oh.
try and blast him.
All right.
off.
Everything is going to break.
All right, and that's a 15, is it 15 foot? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Just all off the stairs.
And what's the DC?
That is I think 15.
Okay. You're going to hit 12 of them
Out of how many?
out of 20.
Okay.
All right.
All right, and go ahead and roll your damage.
All right, so that's 68. So 4, 9, 12, 20, 28, 29.
Holy crap. Okay, so Magnus, this huge thunderous blast erupts from the bard, sends a shockwave out from him. The chandelier above your head explodes, sending raining crystal debris down upon the entire chamber.
In slow motion, they
Yeah.
glisten in the sun. and
The-
they fall down.
Maybe a dove.
Stained glass.
It's all raining down,
Yeah.
and this whole time Paulton was in just superhero land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crystal shower falls upon you. You can hear, even though you're blasting it this way, the big stained glass window behind you just sort of reverberates in its frame from the echo. And then suddenly, bugbears and goblins go tumbling through the air away from you, cascading over their friends to the bottom of the staircase where you hear half dozen broken necks,
Oh.
lots of broken bones, and the remaining, so 2 of the front 2 bugbears, and one of the bugbears behind them got thrown away. So there are 3 bugbears still on the staircase, and a bunch of dead goblins.
After the whole badass thing, he just kind of stands up slowly, and then just immediately throws up the alcohol he just drank from the
Evelyn was like watching this happen when he was doing the superhero landing, and she was like, and then he throws up, and she's like, oh.
I feel better now. It's out of my system.
So Magnus, what you see left are 6 goblins and 3 bugbears.
Okay.
And the only reason the goblins are still alive is they were out of the blast area.
Got it.
The 3 bugbears look really, really, really hurt. and you're up.
Okay. So the goblins are untouched.
Yeah, they're farther down the staircase than the three
What
goblins.
are they wielding?
They are wielding short swords and crossbows.
Okay, I have an item that is the, what is it? It's, such a good question. It's a magnetic charge, that's it. And I can deploy it once a day, and it repels all metal objects wherever
Nice.
I throw it.
Okay.
So I'm going to toss that towards the group of goblins. I don't know, am I rolling? Or
Is this like just a grenade you're sending tumbling down the stairs?
basically, yeah.
Basically, you just sort of pull the pin out of it and ha. Okay. Tung, 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 tung. Okay. And what's the blast radius of this magnetic bomb?
I think it's however good I roll is
Okay.
the rule. As in 20.
It blinks.
It lights.
Available on Think Geek.
All right. So they're standing there with their morning stars and their blades in hand, and suddenly this goes out, and all their weapons fly out of their hands.
Do I need to dive for cover?
Yeah, I was just gonna make a roll for one of them, as this blade comes spinning off toward you. Rolls a, and actually I'll use your ranged attack bonus.
Well, my range attack bonus isn't that good. What would it be? Where is it?
Just use your proficiency bonus and your dexterity modifier.
Oh, that's actually not bad. That's a 5.
Okay, 20.
That hits me.
All right.
Sorry.
So Evelyn was like looking at Paulton throwing up, and then a sword just.
Yeah, and just hits you in the head for 6.
Pay attention, Evelyn.
But all of their weapons are stripped from their hands, and they stand there dumbfounded, like they can't figure out what's happened.
So, would you count that as an attack or just like?
That's definitely attack.
Okay, so I'm going to take my second attack and charge one of the goblins with the flaming, raging, poisoning sword of doom.
Okay.
So 12 plus 10,
Yeah.
22.
So as you run down the stairs with this flaming sword, the goblin just sort of grabs one of his friends and puts him in front of him.
Paul's
And
like,
that is
That's called
6 plus
survival.
24 is 30 points.
Okay, you just cleanly cut him in half, cauterize both halves of the goblin.
Yeah.
And
And then my third attack,
he's still holding the two halves of his friend.
12 plus 10, 22.
Okay, on your upswing, he's cut in
28
half.
points.
Okay,
And then I'm going to action surge. That's 16.
his other friend who's just standing there going, ha, ha, ha. Yeah.
16. Okay. That's 32.
Evelyn, this big flopping noise hits the ground beside you, and you see a severed, burning goblin head with the most astonished look of surprise on its face
And
you've
then my
ever
second
seen.
attack on my action surge. 26.
All right.
And that's 28 points
All
of
right.
damage. And
Flaming,
then the third
flaming
attack
goblin debris flies through the air.
is a 20.
Yep.
And that's 29 points.
Okay. They're all,
Teach me.
you can see just flaming wreckage and entrails all around him on the staircase. And
And I point at the last goblin and go, next round.
you can see this puddle just sort of form underneath that goblin and expand across the red carpet. And
just like,
That's the end of my turn.
Paulton sees all his girls like, calm down.
And Magnus was whistling.
Paulton, you see the wigged man sort of come out of a broom closet and look sort of look at Magnus, and he just goes,
My heart doth tug in twain.
I can't tell who's going next because my computer decided to lock me out.
Even your computer was impressed.
Yes. All right, there we go. We're back at the top. Dieth, you can hear what sound like goblin voices coming up those stairs as you exit the room.
Okay, Strix, you have a way of holding them off?
Ah! But where's the piano? Is it helping? It was helping them, huh? Okay.
Can you send the piano to the stairs?
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah,
see
the piano is going to actually probably arrive at this point. So, Paulton, you've got this giant animated piano next to you.
Yep.
Is there anything? I'll just animate something else in here in my. I'll make something else alive. It's fine.
Okay.
As the piano's walking by, can I like just try like reach out really quick and like play a little something as
Yeah.
it runs?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll continue moving with Strix and Rainier then, as
Okay.
just trying to get away from the chaos and just still pressing for information, growing more and more suspicious as this happens.
Rainier will tell you that I'm estranged from my father. He's got spies still in the city, but he's been basically banished to Neverwinter.
Are you telling me that your father has the stone?
Well, no, I believe he must have made it and hid it in the city somewhere.
Yes, he did. So therefore, you don't know where it is.
No, he doesn't tell me anything.
But then, so then you lied earlier, and you do know what it is.
He says, yes.
Dieth like stops and actually like presses him up against a wall, like threatening. It's just like, if you want to get out of here alive and you want everything to be okay, you need to be cooperative.
He says, anytime that business involves my father, things go badly for the people I care about. I just as soon stay out of it as much as possible.
Dieth actually like immediately like removes his threatening pose and then empathizes with him.
Right.
And just says like, I'm on the exact same page. And well,
I
like,
hate his guts. He never did anything for me.
more than ever has Dieth ever connected with another.
You turn around, Strix, and they're making out. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody struck a chord, and it's
Yeah.
not Paulton.
Yeah, Dieth like almost it just empathizes him like and just tries to like completely connect and like, it's like
Yeah.
I am absolutely the same way. I understand. And even with like a almost side glance back at Strix behind him as she's trying to find something to like animate.
She's like,
He's just like, I'm only trying to protect the things I love too.
Oh, that's nice.
He says, well, let's get through this together. And then you and I can have a talk.
Right, let's keep moving. Strix?
she's like looking at a vase, like totally didn't hear that conversation at all, and she's like, what?
The door that you sort of open up leads to a den.
Okay.
And you can see coming down through a hole in the ceiling of the den, like an attic hatch, are several men in leather armor. They just drop down to the floor silently.
Not that silent, I know where they are.
Well, you can see them.
Yeah.
You just threw the door open on them.
their
One of them
gar-
turns to look at you.
All right, their garb or any markings on their face I would recognize right away.
Make a perception check.
Okay. 20.
You can see that one of the men has the Zentarum symbol on the back of one of his hands.
Is that the bad one or the good one?
We're not sure.
I'm still figuring that part out.
Got it.
And I don't recognize any of them.
No.
Okay. I'll just call out. Were you sent by Davil?
They look at each other and one of them says, yes, we were sent by Davil.
Do I believe him?
No, but he didn't roll though.
I know. You can see that they're not even pretending to hide.
Do I consider their postures threatening?
Yes.
All right.
Doing this.
Rawr.
So after that, Dieth kind of puts a hand in front of Raynar, like steps in front of him, focuses for a brief moment, and a misty dagger then appears into it. And then he just throws it at one of them.
All right.
Yeah.
New toy. Oh no.
It sticks in this stag head on the wall behind him.
It was the first roll. I don't know why I thought this one would be any different. It is
Rainier-
a 1, in case you're all wondering. It is a 1.
Rainier sort of looks past the guy you were aiming at and looks back at you and it says, the stag's already dead.
You hear,
Let that be a warning.
you hear
I think
Paulton from another room. Way to kill it, Naruto!
My turn's done.
All right. And you can see one of these assassins kind of looks back at the dagger sticking in the stag's head and looks to his friend and says, this is going to be easier than we thought.
Their guard's down.
At least he didn't call you ding dong.
Yes. And down below Evelyn, you see a figure come out of a back room, sort of step over a chair that was knocked over and face off against you. And it is a dwarf whose arm has been cut off here, and he's got a crossbow attached to his limb.
Now that doesn't seem practical in non-battle situations.
Right, yeah.
I admire the commitment, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, then
And
Hard to shower, though.
Yeah.
as you stand there amid the flaming wreckage of all these goblins, he can't see your new buddy Magnus because the curvature of the staircase, but he can see you clearly. And he stands there and says, realizing that you're obviously a threat, says, "Due to Waterdeep's legacy of greed, I'm going to teach you a lesson in the real use of power."
The Morning Lord loves you too.
Make a perception check. Or not a perception check, a persuasion check.
Oh, persuasion, eh, Chris Perkins? How about a 26?
Okay.
Ooh.
He says, "What?"
The Morning Lord, in his infinite grace, loves even you.
I've been wrong all these years.
You can change. We can all change. You can kill that goblin if you want to.
The goblin just falls over with this big bolt sticking out of his head.
between that and the other dude the other day, Paul's just, how are you doing this?
You've been traveling with us for how long? None of us have converted, and you keep converting these randos.
Go forth and do good.
Lead
There's
on,
something we're missing?
What's your name?
Noska.
This is my new friend Noska. Magnus, Noska, Magnus.
Lena. Oh, hey! I like your art. How do you shower? I know that seems really personal to ask right away.
I don't.
Oh! That's some creative problem solving.
All right. Holly, what would Strix's piano is at the top of the stairs. You're just
Yeah.
gonna have to charge down the stairs. Okay, it barrels through the 3 surviving bugbears. You can make a melee attack roll
For my piano?
for your piano.
I really like the idea of
I rolled
Magnus
a
just
1.
staying there as a piano go.
Yes.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, that's not good. Okay.
Piano
Can we
misses?
stop rolling ones? That would be really nice.
So the
piano
piano
falls
starts to
down the stairs.
tumble down the stairs, and then Magnus, you see this. There's this moment of horror when its hooked feet get caught, and the entire piano just starts to flip and bounce down the stairs towards ping pong, ping pong, pong. Sounds like a Jack White song. And then. I'd like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Now, that's bad.
I'm sorry.
But I do have Indomitable, so
Okay.
11?
Okay. You are crushed underneath this animated piano as it just falls and lands on top of you. It doesn't. Oh, deals 10 points of damage as it crushes you and presses you onto the staircase.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fine.
Bang.
You know, it happens.
All right.
Pianos run over you sometimes.
Strix,
I
what would
remember
you?
how my father used to tell me.
Strix, what would you like to do?
Did I see that happen?
Yes.
Oh, whoops. Where
Actually, no. You would have just heard it.
Okay. Every crash, I was like,
But there are these 2
Yeah.
assassins who have just
Okay.
dropped down.
yeah, there's 2 of them.
Yes.
I would like to twin spell polymorph.
Oh.
Ooh. Hot stuff.
And the DC is?
16.
Okay. What are you attempting to turn them into?
Since we're in Waterdeep and it's a coastal city, I
Yes.
would like to turn them into 2 tiny snowy plovers. They're little seabirds that are this big and they look like little puffballs.
Okay. 2 puffballs.
With tiny little legs and go beep, 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 beep.
Renair kind of looks at you, Dieth, and she's good.
She's really good.
Strix heard that and she's like, thanks!
All right, and
Okay, the goblin's dead. Nazca and I are hanging out.
Yep.
Magnus is chill.
Under a piano. I mean, listen, probably still fine.
yeah,
Let's call it what it is.
You sort of see one of his hands flex out. You know.
Y'all good, buddy?
Doing great.
Okay. I'm gonna go check on the rest of my party. Are you good?
Sure.
She can on her way. I don't know if it would be an action. Can she just kind of kick the piano a little bit to help him get it off of him?
You can make a strength check.
I don't want to use it as my action. 'Cause
Okay,
he's got it.
in that case, yeah.
Okay.
Then I will. I mean, don't you got it?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very strong.
Yeah, that's what I figured. This room's clear though.
Yes.
Okay, I say Nazca, as your first good deed, would you please help get that piano off my friend? Okay, awesome.
This bow arm?
Sometimes
got
doing
his
the right thing is a challenge, and you have to be creative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he'll go up there with you. He can't take any actions at this time, but he sort of goes up, takes his one good hand, which has this leather glove on it, and just sort of grabs one of the piano legs, which is sticking up, so that he can kind of pull it down the rest of the staircase off of Magnus.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, Magnus.
I'm also
Okay.
gonna also tell Evelyn and be like, I got him. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thanks.
So you fly past Paulton, who's at the top of the stairs. By the way, there are 3 bugbears on the stairs still, but they're, they're weaponless at the moment, and a little in shock from the piano incident.
Turn to the morning lord and be safe.
You keep on going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you bust through into the piano room, and in the doorway leading to another room, you see Dieth and Renair and Strix.
And they look safe.
They do. And 2 little peepee birds.
Y'all okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, carry on.
Sorry about the piano, I heard it.
It's all right.
You guys can see that somebody that you can't see slides the lid back over that hole in the roof to the attic.
All right.
And Evelyn is still there. She hasn't acted yet.
How much of my movement have I used? Do I have
Oh,
any-
probably like 30 feet.
Okay, yes, I'm done.
Can Dieth just say, like, can you fly up there and open that?
Totes in a little bit.
Okay.
Paulton.
So I'm gonna go try to help him out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna walk up to the piano and like.
There are 3 bugbears between you and the piano, though they're unarmed. They do look like big, vicious brutes.
Would it be an action if I did like a quick like intimidation like?
Totally.
Wait, is that an action though?
No. I'll give that one to you for free.
Sweet.
A little pump fake.
But make an intimidate check against them. I'm going to give you advantage.
I
Because-
don't need it. but-
Okay.
Wait.
Then you don't have it.
Okay. Well, because my first roll was a 19, and so
Okay,
that
great.
comes to a 25.
Yeah. So
So
you
it's
do
not-
your little, and that spooks them, and they just hurl themselves over the staircase onto the floor below.
Just swan dive right
Yeah,
off.
pretty much. Yeah, they'd rather take their chances with the floor.
So I'm gonna go up to the piano and like
Okay.
squat down to try and lift it.
Yeah.
But then instead, I'm just gonna play a little song on it. But that will be me granting bardic inspiration, which will grant him another D10.
Oh, that's
he
nice.
chooses to try and roll out.
A D10
You
on
get
your
an
roll.
Yeah, you get an extra D10 on attack, ability check, or saving throw.
So a strength check to get out from under the
it my
piano.
turn?
And yes, it
I'm
is.
gonna do that. I'm gonna strength check.
You feel very inspired.
Okay, good. Oh, cool. Because that's 14 plus 9, 23.
Yeah, he's playing your theme song. You throw that piano clear off you.
Does it go over the stairs, not to the bugbears?
Do you want to use the piano as a weapon? Because
Can I?
yeah, you absolutely can.
Then that's what I did.
All right. So not only you heave it off, now just make I'm gonna call it. I guess it's a ranged attack with a weapon with which you're not proficient in, unless
That doesn't exist.
okay. Then we'll say you are proficient in piano throwing.
You know,
This is how you play a piano.
not my first time.
All right, go ahead and make your ranged attack with this thing. They're prone, so you have advantage.
So it's a ranged attack, right?
Yeah,
Is what I'm
ranged
doing?
attack. You have
Like
advantage
as I'm
on the roll.
playing this
So
song, the
that's-
piano just like floats up.
That's a 27 there.
Okay.
And then I roll 8 plus 5 for the damage, so 13 damage.
Okay, you crush all 3 to death under this piano. And the piano's done at this point. Like, you don't think it could play anything. It's played its last tune.
Excellent.
Just gotta turn him like.
Yeah.
Nice. And do I still have my move action?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of which would be used to stand up,
I
probably.
have a grappling hook.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I know that the description of is use once a day to climb something like Batman. So I'm going to use it to, like, get up to the top of the stairs, get up to the room where they are.
Okay, you do.
Yeah.
This grappling hook just comes sailing out of nowhere.
I do. Chunk. Zoop. Hey, so what's up?
Holden sees him zip away. He's like, oh, I want one.
You could probably get that made here. Okay, we are out of initiative.
We did it.
Wait, did we succeed?
There are no enemies that you can see.
Dieth had asked me to fly up to the trapdoor, so I'll do
Okay.
that.
Yeah, make a strength check.
Only 7.
Can I help?
It's up high on the roof of this room, which has got like a 20-foot high ceiling. So if you can get up there, you can.
Well, I have.
You have springs in your boots, right?
Well, I do have magic jumping boots.
I
but,
thought so. Okay.
I'm gonna throw the chance lance and then like try to bury it in and recall it to try to like
To
wedge
rip
it out.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not great. 17.
That's good enough.
Okay.
Yeah. So his chance lance sticks in it, and then you just see
So
the whole.
Evelyn was pushing on it, and then the chancellor just.
Pull down. Pull down.
Okay.
Pull down.
Yeah, you pull down on it and you rip the whole trapdoor out. It cascades down around you, and as you look up, you can see there's a high-pitched attic. And moving through the dust and old furnishings and shroud-covered chests and things in here, you see a darkened figure making its way to an open attic window.
I want to tackle it.
Okay. Go ahead and make a melee attack using your strength and your proficiency.
Oh no. 10.
Gets out of the way as you fly toward him, and you just sort of crash into some sheets.
And no one can see me, so I'm like, it's all right, just
You
second.
hear a sound like clang,
Oh,
clang,
boy.
and you see the figure leap out through the window.
Oh no.
It's not all right, I lost him.
I can help.
And when you go and you look out, you see that he is riding a zip line
Oh.
off of the estate down to a coach.
Can I also zip line?
Can we see that like through the stained glass window?
Because it's stained glass, no. The window is barring your view.
What's happening?
There's a zip line
Where?
up here.
Strix has her broom.
Fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can get on my broom.
Strix,
I'm
go.
gonna charge through the
right.
stained glass window.
Go that way. It's faster.
I watched that and I'm like,
As this broom riding woman comes sailing out through an attic window, the glass smashes on the window underneath as you come bombing out.
Yeah.
Paulton
18.
hears crashing and window shatter and
Yes.
the broom and screaming. I'm just like, so what's going on up there?
Dieth will like chase after Magnus and try to like poke out and see what's going on.
Not getting an answer. Should I come up? I won't if I don't have to.
Yes.
All right.
You guys, now that the two of you are outside, and you
I
can
mean, I
get to
did
the
just
window.
jump out of a second-story window. Do I need to roll something?
Yeah, you land in a thorn bush, so go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Hey, Thorn.
Strix is just like, thanks for breaking that window.
5.
Okay, yes. So you land face first into
Oh.
the thorns,
Ouch.
That's fine.
and you take only 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And you pull yourself out, and you're sort of tangled up in the briars and stuff, and you just sort of rip them all off you. But yeah, you're down in the foliage. And you see her with a smoke trail billowing out behind her broom,
And me out the other
and
window too
you
with
leaping
my
out the
flying boots.
window. DF?
What can I see from the window?
You can see a yard below you with some. You see some fleeing dung sweeper guild people.
Can I see the escapee at all?
Yeah, you see him. He is basically landed in the doorway of his coach.
All right. What does he look like?
He looks like a human, sort of thinning hair, built quite strongly, very thuggish, you would say.
All right.
You wouldn't say he is particularly memorable. Like he's the kind of face you lose track of
Okay,
in a
so
crowd.
he doesn't have like any kind of familiar.
You've never met him before?
Okay.
He
Is he-
doesn't look like Rainier.
No.
okay, I was mostly wondering that. Okay.
No.
Can I like try to go outside so I can just see what's happening?
Yeah, you get to the front doors and you realize they're being held shut by something, but you can make a strength check to try to pull them open.
Or could I just dimension door through it?
Yes, you
Okay,
could.
cool.
And when you dimension door at the other side, you see that there are broom handles shoved into the doors to hold them shut, and they look like the Dung Sweepers Guild broom handles.
Oh no.
Like through it?
Kaiser Soze.
All right, and you guys surround the coach and
Yes.
stop it dead.
Good. Good.
And that's where we'll stop.
Did we succeed?
You succeeded.
Hooray!
You protected Renair, you got the bad guy, you
And-
convinced Nazca
new
to see the
convert.
error of his ways.
And
Yes.
isn't that the real win?
Yes. Yes.
You also convinced 3 bugbears to practically kill themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for our little
Yay!
show. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoy our stay in Waterdeep. We're going to be here for the rest of the season.
Yay.
So, yeah.
And thanks, Chris, for the story.
Yeah.
Am I on Dice Camera Action now? Am I just in the show now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.